Welcome to SendMe Radio. I'm your host Digital Inc. SendMe Radio is a podcast and an online radio station that plays Christian content 24/7. You can download the free app from the Google Play and Apple Store. SendMe Radio is also on all major streaming platforms. Listen to SendMe Radio in your car, on Google and Apple TV, on your Apple Watch and all your smart devices. Just say, "Hey Alexa, play SendMe Radio." Today I'll be reading an awesome story, similar to the life of Rahab, as written in Joshua 2 in the Bible. According to the Bible, before the conquest of Canaan, Joshua sent 2 men as spies, to see the land. They come to Rahab's house for lodging, information, and or it could be argued personal favors. The king, hearing about the 2 men, demanded that Rahab gave them up. Listen to this awesome story depicting the life of Rahab, and be blessed. Rahab grew up in a rough neighborhood in Chicago. Her parents worked long hours to make ends meet, and Rahab often found herself on her own, surrounded by the noise and chaos of the city. As she got older, Rahab became known in her neighborhood for her tough exterior and sharp tongue. She didn't take any nonsense from anyone, and her quick wit and street smarts made her a force to be reckoned with. But Rahab's tough exterior was also a defense mechanism. Beneath the bravado, she felt lost and alone. She had always felt like she didn't quite fit in, like there was something missing from her life. One day, Rahab met a man named Joshua. He was kind and gentle, and unlike anyone she had ever met before. He told her about his faith, about a God who loved her unconditionally and had a plan for her life. At first, Rahab was skeptical. She had never been interested in religion before, and the idea of a God who cared about her seemed too good to be true. But as she listened to Joshua's stories and saw the way he lived his life, something inside her began to stir. Rahab started going to church with Joshua, and she found herself drawn to the stories in the Bible. She was amazed by the way God had worked in the lives of people like Abraham, Moses, and David. And then she heard about Rahab. Rahab had always known her name was unusual, but she had never realized that it was also the name of a woman in the Bible. As she read the story of the original Rahab, a prostitute who had helped the Israelites conquer the city of Jericho, something inside her shifted. She saw herself in Rahab, a woman who had made mistakes, who had been judged and rejected by society, but who had also found redemption and purpose through God's grace. With Joshua's guidance, Rahab began to turn her life around. She stopped hanging out with her old crowd and started volunteering at a local shelter. She began to see the people around her in new light, as individuals loved by God, and she started treating them with kindness and respect. As Rahab's faith grew stronger, she realized that she wanted to help other women like herself, women who had been marginalized and judged by society. She started a program for women who had been in the sex industry, offering them support, counseling, and a chance to start anew. The program was a success, and Rahab found a sense of purpose and fulfillment that she had never experienced before. She knew that her journey had been difficult, but she also knew that God had been with her every step of the way, guiding her toward a life of hope, love, and redemption. Rahab is a character from the Old Testament of the Bible who is described as a prostitute. She played a significant role in the story of Joshua, where she assisted the Israelites in conquering the city of Jericho. Despite her background as a prostitute, Rahab is portrayed as a woman of great courage and faith. When the Israelite spies came to Jericho to scout out the city, Rahab welcomed them into her home and hid them from the king's men who were searching for them. She risked her own life to protect the spies and help them escape from the city. Rahab's actions were driven by her belief in the God of Israel, whom she had heard about and come to fear. She expressed her faith to the spies, saying, "I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that the terror of you has fallen on us, and that all the inhabitants of the land have melted away before you." Joshua 2:9. Rahab's faith and courage ultimately led to her salvation. When the Israelites attacked Jericho, they spared Rahab and her family and took them into their midst. Rahab went on to marry an Israelite named Salmon and became the mother of Boaz, who was an ancestor of King David and ultimately of Jesus Christ. Today, Rahab's story is often cited as an example of the transformative power of faith and the ability of anyone, regardless of their background or past, to be used by God for His purposes.